This is a sports catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another sports catastrophe on this day. And on this day, October 19th, 1988, the LA Dodgers take care of business, shocking the Oakland Athletics with one of the biggest World Series upsets of all time. The underdog Dodgers reminded people of the 1969 New York Mets and all that. A lot of people were probably thinking, wait, October 19th is Blue Monday with the Expos. But unfortunately, I did that 3 years ago. Remember, I'm doing it on topics that I haven't done before. So regardless of that, the 1988 World Series happened. Everybody knows about Game 1 and Kirk Gibson's home run. But that was just Game 1 and all that. So anyway, let's talk about the David versus Goliath. Let's talk about Goliath first. The 1988 A's. They had the swagger of a heavily favored team. They had the Bash brothers of Mark McGwire, who came off a very good rookie campaign, and Jose Canseco, who was decent too. McGwire had 32 home runs. Canseco hit 42 home runs in that year, and were young superstars. Canseco, with his 42 home runs and 40 steals, became the first player ever to do that, steal 40 or more home bases and get 40 or more home runs. He would easily be the AL MVP. Dave Henderson and Dave Parker would put up some good contributions too. Don Baylor would actually be in his third straight World Series in 1988. In 1986, he was a member of the Red Sox when they lost their chance next to Buckner's error and all that. And 1987, he was a member of the Twins when they won the title, becoming the first indoor team ever to win the title. Oakland's pitching staff was huge. They had the best ERA, the best wins, and the most saves. Dave Stewart, an ex-Dodger, put up 20 straight wins. Put up 20 wins. Bob Welsh put up 17 wins, and Stormy Davis put up 16 wins. No, that's not that porn star. Anyway, Dennis Eckersley would soon grow to be one of the best closers ever. He was actually a starter for the first 12 years of his career. But anyway, yeah, he was a great closer and all that. Rick Honeycutt was a reliable setup man. But let's talk about the undercard Dodgers, the David, if you will. The team batting didn't finish in top 5 in any offensive statistical category except batting average. Nobody hit more than 300 or drove more than 90 runs. Kirk Gibson put up 25 home runs, which was okay, but there was 7 for the National League. Pedro Guerrero was terrible. He was traded to the Cardinals for John Tudor, and Kirk Gibson would have been to the All-Star game but declined the invitation. Nevertheless, the Dodgers could pick up some excellent pitching and all that. They actually traded Bob Welsh to Oakland, of all teams. And with Fernando Valenzuela kind of hurt, the Dodgers still had the best ERA and runs allowed, if you can't. The staff was anchored by Cy Young winner Earl Hershiser, who won 23 games that year, 15 complete games and 8 shutouts, including a 58-inning scoreless streak that rivaled everyone else. Tim Leary and Tim Belcher would put up some great job in the rotation, as well as John Tudor. The bullpen was great. Jay Howell was fine. Alejandro Pena and Jesse Orozco was a Dodger at that time, which was funny. It was basically intensity and fortitude. Kirk Gibson signed to the Dodgers in free agency. Of course, he was one of the free agents that got hit by collusion and all that, and decided to take a deal with the Dodgers. Hershiser did his innings pitch thing and put up a fantastic job. Regardless of that, Hershiser was just that damn good. And somehow, in some way, the Dodgers took care of business against the New York Mets, who were very dominating in the NL East, winning a 7-game series in Los Angeles to get a trip to the World Series against Oakland, who swaggered their way to a sweep of the Boston Red Sox. So the World Series started on October 15th. We all know that Game 1 was the Kirk Gibson home run, But people forget about Jose Canseco going Al Kabong off the camera in center field for a grand slam to make it 4-2 Oakland in the second inning. Dodgers were scratched their way, and of course, the bottom of the ninth happened. Anyway, it was just amazing. And Kirk Gibson was nowhere to be found because a lot of people said he wasn't going to play and all that because of his injury. But lo and behold, he did. He had a home run, the backdoor slider into the right field bleachers, won the game, and it was just amazing all that. And that actually was the first time a World Series game ended with a come from behind home run. So anyway, they compared that game one home run to the natural, Roy Hobbs, and all that. In fact, game one is the only game in World Series history that a Grand Slam hitting team failed to win both the game and the series. The Yankees hit a Grand Slam but lost game 2 in 1956. However, they still won the series in 7. So anyway, Gibson became the second player to record a walk-off hit with 2 outs and his team trailing in the bottom of the ninth in the World Series. Cookie Lavagetto did something like that in 1947 World Series. Not a home run, but a double. Brad Phillips also accomplished this feat. But regardless, the Dodgers used their pitching of who else? Our Hershiser. He gave up only 3 hits to those pesky A's. What was funny about that is that Hershiser himself got 3 hits, becoming the first pitcher to get 3 hits in a game in a World Series game since Art Neff in 1924, and the first pitcher to get an World Series RBI since John Denny in 1983. Game 3 was back in Oakland, and it was a pitcher's duel. Tudor actually pitched Game 3, but had to leave because of tightness in his pitching shoulder. So both Tim Lurie and Alejandro Pena had to pitch multiple innings. The A's got Bob Welch using his job. It was 2-1. And then Jay Howell, who was coming off being suspended for most of the NLCS because of the pine tar in his glove, rightfully so. It was so mad that Orel Hershiser had to come in to close Game 4 in the LCS. But anyway, Howell threw a pitch, but Mark McGwire deposited it into the left center field seats, and Oakland walked off the Dodgers. So normalcy was supposed to come by. However, the Dodgers somehow won Game 4 4-3 as Belcher took care of Dave Stewart. That was his pitching lineup in Game 1. So anyway, the Dodgers were not really known for their home run power. Case in point, in Game 4, the starting lineup of Steve Sachs, Franklin Stubbs, Mickey Hatcher, Mike Davis, John Shelby, Danny Heap, Jeff Hamilton, Mike Scioscia, and Alfredo Griffin only combined for 36 regular season home runs. Of those 8 players, of course, the pitcher doesn't count. So that's an average of 4.5 home runs per starting pitcher. That is, like, you don't see that in 2024. And in fact, only John Shelby of those 9 A players actually hit double-digit home runs. Canseco and McGwire hit 74 home runs combined. Nevertheless, the Dodgers somehow won 4-3. Trey Howell did a great job, and now a 3-1 series lead. Anyway, Game 5. I said October 19th. I meant October 20th. Oh dear. Well, I can't change now because it would take me too much strength to start all over again. So yeah, so the Dodgers beat the A's 5-2 on this day. Hershiser beat Storm Davis, who didn't do anything, and all of that. Hershiser pitched a complete game, gave up only 4 hits, and struck out 9. Stan Javier was the only guy to get an RBI off the Dodgers. And anyway, Mickey Hatcher did a fantastic job. Hit a 2-run home run off of Storm Davis. For his second home run of the World Series, it made it 2-0 Dodgers. And then Mike Davis hit a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. And Rick Dempsey came in to hit an RBI for the Dodgers, 5-2. So it was over. Hershiser did his job. The 1988 Dodgers outmuscled the mighty Goliath of the 1988 A's. They outhit the A's 41-28. The A's only batted .177 against Dodgers pitching. And the Dodgers outmuscled the A's, getting 5 home runs to Oakland's 2. And Tommy Lasorda's second World Series. His first was 1981. Mark McGwire and Jose Canseco only got 2 hits each, despite the fact that they were both home runs. Canseco's grand slam in Game 1 and McGwire's walk-off in Game 3. That was it. Those were the only 2 hits those guys got combined in the series. In fact, the Dodgers are the only team in history to have a perfect game pitched against them, but still win the World Series. That was when Tom Browning pitched a perfect game for the Reds in 1988. The Dodgers winning the title, and with the Lakers winning the title in June, the Dodgers became made LA the first city to win the NBA and World Series champions in the same year. It was just amazing what could happen. But this would be a melancholy thing for NBC, as this was the last time the NBC would televise the World Series until 1995. NBC would lose the MLB rights to CBS, who overpaid by giving up $1 billion. All that. Nevertheless, NBC would actually cover the 95, 97, and 99 World Series. And that was it. Anyway, you knew all that. So it was just amazing all that. So, yeah, the Dodgers would not get to the World Series again until 2017, when they lost to the Astros in Game 7. Losing Game 7 on home turf to the Astros, and of course we all know about the Astros using the sign stealing scandal, but they won't take the World Series title away from Houston. The Dodgers came back in 2018, but lost the World Series in 5 games to Boston. They actually had momentum after that Game 3 18-inning marathon and crushing it in Game 4 early on until the 8th inning. But the Dodgers would win the World Series in 2020, so all is well. And they could potentially be going to the World Series in 2024, as of this recording. They haven't clinched it yet, but it could be. Anyway, the A's, this didn't hurt them. In 1989, they were a strong team again, and they swept the Giants in the World Series, albeit being distracted by an earthquake, the Loma Prieta earthquake. And then the A's came back in 1990 to win the World Series berth, but it got swept by the Reds, the Nasty Boys, in 1990. The A's have never been to the World Series since. They've had 2 LCS appearances since, only 2 in the past 35 years. 1992, when the Jays took them out in 6 games, became the first Canadian team to make the World Series, and 2006, when they got swept by the Tigers, who made a massive turnaround. 3 years prior to that, the Tigers actually lost 119 games, the most in the AL until the White Sox of 2024. But let's not forget Oakland being swept. That was when Miguel Ordonez crushed a 3-run home run to win the series. So it was just amazing for what could happen. And Tommy Lasorda said they could beat the mighty A's, and they did. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.